Oh, say, can you say dinosaur? All about dinosaurs with Dr. Seuss and the Cat in the Hat. I'm the Cat in the Hat. You've met me before. Today I will speak of the great dinosaur. Oh, say, can you say dinosaur? I'm the Cat in the Hat. You have met me before. Today I will speak of the great dinosaur. Dinosaurs lived on the earth long ago, before you and me. So how do we know? That's a good question. How do we know? The big old dinosaur. From fossils, dinosaur teeth, eggs, and bone got stuck in the muck. Then that muck turned to stone. These fossils are old. They are dusty and worn because they were made long before you were born. Not hundreds of years, not thousands of years, but millions of years, long before you were born. They got stuck. Their bones and their teeth got stuck in the muck. Dinosaur hunters dig in the ground. All over the earth, these fossils are found. The hunters use tools to chip all day. The fossils come loose, then they pack them away. Fossils can crumble because they are old, so dinosaur hunters must first make a mold. They have to be very careful because they're so old that they can crumble. They chip in the rock to get the fossils out. To the dinosaur labs, every bone, tooth, and bit is carefully shipped to see how they fit. Is this a leg bone? Maybe a muzzle. It's a crazy mixed up dinosaur puzzle. So they carefully ship them, and then they have to put puzzle pieces. They have to put them together to figure out what it looked like. Just like a big puzzle. Step up and enter the museum hall where dinosaurs stand. Some are big, some are small. Here we will play the best of all games. Oh, say, can you say the dinosaur names? So they're stepping into the museum so we can see all the different dinosaurs that they found. Take care of your father, sweet Sally, dear Dick. These long words can make even grown-ups feel sick. And after you've said 'em, you then get to see 'em in the Cat in the Hat Super Dino Museum. Dinosaur names are not easy to read, but give it a try. I'll help if you need. Here we go. We're walking into the museum. Oh, say, can you say Ankylosaurus? With a club for a tail and a back full of spikes, this dino was strong like an army tank. Yikes. This is an Ankylosaurus. Look at that. He's got spikes on his back. He's strong. They said like a tank. Ankylosaurus. Now can you say Myosaurus? There's one thing we know that this dino did best. She kept her kids cozy and safe in their nest. She kept that nest tidy. She got her kids food. She was a good mother to her dino brood. Myosaurus. She is a good mommy. She keeps her kids all nice and cozy, and she brings them food. She keeps them safe. She's a good mommy. The Myosaurus. I bet you know what this one is. The Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now say Tyrannosaurus Rex. You said that quite nicely. Now you'd better go. T-Rex is no kitten. I think you should know. He's a pretty scary dinosaur. You better run. Go quick. This T-Rex was strong with long teeth sharp as knives. When most dinos saw him, they ran for their lives. T-Rex was a hunter. He hunted for meat. Other dinosaurs were his idea of a treat. Ew. Carnivore is the name that we give to dinos like this who ate meat to live. So he was a carnivore, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because he ate other dinosaurs. He ate meat. Meat eaters are carnivores. Here's the Triceratops. Cute. Well, I don't know how cute he is, but oh, say, can you say Triceratops? This dinosaur's head had 3 horns upon it, 3, sticking up out of a hard sort of bonnet. But though he was smaller and not half as fierce, his head was too hard for T-Rex teeth to pierce. So the T-Rex couldn't bite his head because it was too hard. That was a good thing to have, huh? So after a few dozen snaps at his face, T-Rex looked for dinner in some other place. So the T-Rex didn't even try. He tried a couple times and then he was like, forget it. You're too hard to eat. I'll go eat something else. You know? Guess he gave up. Oh, say, can you say apatosaurus? I've gotten this rather tall ladder here for us to see eye to eye with apatosaurus. These dinos' long necks reached up high into trees, where they fed on green leaves just as much as they'd please. Herbivore is the name that we give to dinos like these who ate plants to live. So they didn't eat meat, the herbivores, they only ate trees, plants. So this apatosaurus had a long neck, so he could eat leaves way up high in the trees. He didn't eat meat like the T-Rex. Can you say Brachiosaurus? This dino was taller than 51 feet. Oh my goodness. This dino was taller than 51 feet. And just how much food do you think he could eat? Nearly as much as a truckload of hay is what he would gobble day after day. That's how he grew to the size, as you see. The cat in the hat just comes up to his knee. He's nowhere as smart as a you or a me. His brain is the size of a small zucchini. So he's this big, but his brain is only the size of a very tiny zucchini. You know what a zucchini fruit is? Pretty little. But he's huge. And look, the cat in the hat only comes up to his knee. That's how tall he is. This is the Brachiosaurus. Oh, say, can you say iguanodon? What he did with his thumb, we think that we know. We think that he used it to jab at his foe. So the iguanodon here, look at his thumbs. He's got little sharp, like, I don't know, like a knife on his thumb. And they thinks he just jabbed at anybody he was fighting with so that he could win his fights that way. So he had like a built-in knife on his thumb. Pretty cool, huh? Iguanodon. Now say Deinonychus. Deinonychus. Terrible claw is what its name means. We think that this dinosaur hunted in teams. The Deinonychus. Here we have this one. I don't know why they call it a terrible thumb or a terrible claw. I guess because his hands are kind of like claws like this and they're sharp. Maybe that's why, but they hunted in packs. So not just one of them, but they would go out in a team and they would hunt like that. I guess you could catch more meat that way. My goodness, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them going after this Brachiosaurus or Apatosaurus, whichever one that is. Can you say Grammy can't say this. Archaeopteryx. This fine feathered friend is the earliest known. This bird might have glided. This bird might have flown. One thing we must ask, and we must be quite firm. If this bird was so early, so one more time, it's the Archaeopteryx. It's a giant bird, Archaeopteryx. And they're saying, if this bird was so early, did he catch the worm? The worm looks angry. Look at the worm. He's pulling him by his tail, and the worm is poking his head out, and he's like, leave me alone, I was sleeping. You're too early. It's getting late now. I see night is falling. The museum is closing. Your mother is calling. Before you head home, dear Sally and Dick, I have a surprise that is really quite slick. This dino is the earliest cat that is known. No one has seen it. It's never been shown. It's super terrific. It stands here before us. Oh, say, can you say? Oh, it's all bagged up. What do you think it is? Knowing the cat in the hat, it's probably something that's going to get him in trouble. Cat in the Hatosaurus. That's silly. That wasn't a real dinosaur, the cat in the Hatosaurus. But it looks funny. Look at those big, long, sharp teeth. Our glossary tells us that a brood is a number of young hatched all at one time. So, like all their eggs, they hatched all at one time, it became a brood. A carnivore is an animal that eats flesh or meat. Dinosaurs mean terrible lizards. This is the name of the large group of reptiles that lived 210 million years ago. Most dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago. Way, way before we were here. Fierce means wild, savage, and mean. Foe is an enemy. Fossils are the remains or the impressions of animals or plants that lived millions of years ago. Gobble is to swallow and eat in a hurry. Like, you know, when you're really hungry or you want to go watch your cartoon, so you gobble up your food really fast? That's what that is. Herbivore, an animal that eats plants. Jab is to poke with something sharp. Remember those thumbs that were like knives? They jab. Labs, short for laboratories. These are the places where scientists conduct tests and experiments to find the answers to many questions, like when dinosaurs lived and how they ate and all that kind of stuff. Muck, dirty, slimy, rotting plant and animal matter. Stinky. Sounds really gross. Museum is a building where objects of interest or value are kept and shown. A muzzle is the part of an animal's head that sticks out, the jaws, mouth, and nose. Like your dog has a muzzle. Pierce is to make a hole with something sharp. Zucchini is a green variety of squash having a long shape. While the brain of a brachiosaur was only the size of a small zucchini, the average human brain is bigger than a grapefruit. The end.